A girl says I am technically an alien whose parents met at the University of St. Petersburg. Her mother, Alexa, was a math teacher. Her father, Maximilian Jones, was an astrophysicist. Alexa got pregnant and they were both pleased, but then thieves came to their house, killed Max and took his telescope. On the way to Chicago, Alexa gave birth to her daughter and she moved to live with her family. In the present, Jupiter works with her mother and Aunt Nino to clean the homes of wealthy neighbors. Alien Dynasty's Titus and her sister Kalik talk about the planet Zalantire they recently conquered. Balaam, their elder brother, who inherits an enormous refinery to produce transhuman on Jupiter. They are from the family of Abrasax, and after the death of their mother, Balaam takes charge. Titus and Kalik declare their intention to dismantle the youth serum trade, of which Earth is the next intended source. Balaam now wants to take over the land and use it for his transhuman production. Titus and Kalik want to stop Balaam from having so much power. Back to the Earth, Jupiter hates her life and does her cleaning job from dawn till dusk. Cain is an ex-legion who arrives on Earth and a group of hunters keeping an eye on him. Cain opens the door to enter the building and Ibis says he is here to find a gene. Razzo flies away and Cain is reading Catherine's file and senses the hunters outside. He takes out his gun and shield and runs outside to fight with the hunters. Cain injures a hunter and escapes while Razzo tells Ibis to warn Lord Balaam about Cain's arrival. Kalik's palace is on a distant planet and she sent hunters to find Catherine. Kalik tells her minister that my brothers shouldn't know this, because the hunters Balaam sent are now on the Kalik's side. Balaam returns to Jupiter and his minister, Mr. Knight, reveals that we have found a gene print on Earth. Another monster creature Taslykin tells him the girl's name is Catherine Dunleavy. Balaam orders them to find her and wants her dead. We see Catherine, Jupiter's friend, getting ready for dinner. Catherine asks Jupiter, have you ever fallen in love, and she says love is just a fairy tale for little girls. Jupiter goes to the wardrobe and sees a group of aliens taking Catherine's blood sample. She takes a photo and as her phone rings they attack her. The girls wake up and couldn't remember anything. During the dinner, Jupiter asks her cousin for money but he refuses because he doesn't want Jupiter to waste money. Jupiter wants to buy a telescope and her cousin Vladi asks her to sell her egg if she wants money. Jupiter goes for the egg donation and in the hospital, she is attacked by Balaam's keepers. Cain arrives and kills the keepers to rescue Jupiter. While Titus enjoys himself, Famulus tells him that Cain has found Jupiter. Cain is now a bounty hunter and working for Titus. Jupiter regains consciousness and starts to attack Cain, but he stops her from doing so. Jupiter asks him, who are you and why all this is happening to me? Cain tells her that I am a geoengineered human from another planet and I'm here to save you. Taslykin tells Balaam about the intervention of Cain and he orders them to deploy the security around the Earth so nobody can leave. Cain and Jupiter are making toward the ship and are suddenly attacked by the keepers. Jupiter falls down but Cain saves her and the keepers fire on them. Cain manages to get inside the jet and starts destroying all the keepers. Their jet is also destroyed but they are safe and leave the city in the car to remain low. Jupiter is worried and Cain tells her it's the Abrasax family looking for you, one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe. Jupiter has no idea about it and she watches the destroyed buildings are now rebuilt. Balaam watches her on the video and says I miss you every time whenever he explores the universe. Then he threatens Taslykin that if he fails this time it will be his last day. Cain takes Jupiter to his friend Stinger who greets Cain by beating him. Stinger's daughter Kisa meets Jupiter while they both are fighting. The honey bees surround her instead of biting her and seeing to this Stinger bows in front of Jupiter. Stinger then heals Cain's wound and Jupiter is shocked to see this. She asks Stinger why he bowed her and he explains you never stung by bees because bees are designed to recognize royalty. Jupiter leaves for the call and Stinger asks Cain about her relationship with the royals. Cain tells him Titus only tells me to find her and in return, he will return your wings. Jupiter talks to Vladi who asks her about the money and she tells him she didn't make it. Vladi gets upset hearing this as he has already taken the money and used it. After talking to his team, Stinger tells them that Balaam has blocked the space lane so we need a plane. Cain says that if Jupiter is really a wizard, they're going to need guns because they can't leave this planet without fighting. A group of hunters arrives there so keepers also while our group is unaware. Soon the fights start. Cain fights with hunters and Stinger kills the keepers. Stinger and Jupiter hide in the field and the cyborg eye hunter knocks Jupiter unconscious. Razzo kills the keepers and Ibe shoots the cyborg eye hunter and takes her inside the ship. Cain runs to save her and hangs outside the ship before it takes off. Balaam tells Mr. Knight to run the production at full capacity because he wants to harvest the Earth tomorrow after killing Jupiter. The hunters take her to Kalik and she shows her mother's statue. Their mother looks like Jupiter and Kalik explains your gene is matched with her mother's gene. Kalik then takes her to the facility where she takes a bath in Serum's pool. After the bath, she comes out looking completely young, which Jupiter is surprised to see. Kalik reveals she is 14,004 years old and her mother was 91,000 years old when she died. It was the youth serum from harvested populations that kept them alive for so long. Cain sneaks inside the palace and after beating the guards he confronts Kalik. Cain takes her to Aegis spaceship where she meets Dyamakut Singh, captain of the cruiser. Stinger is also there and they are taking her to the planet Ors to claim her inheritance. Balaam kills Taslykin for not bringing Jupiter and then he orders another monster to bring her. Jupiter professes her love for Cain and tries to kiss him, but Cain refuses because she is now a princess. After reaching the planet Ors, they hire robo-advocate Bob for Jupiter to take her inheritance back. They submit all the files and she gets a tattoo of the Earth on her wrist, which completes her inheritance. Cain tells Jupiter that you are now part of the Abserax family, but Jupiter says that it doesn't mean anything to me. She tells Cain that she wants to go home now, but then Stinger comes with Titus's force and betrays them. Titus welcomes her on the ship and kisses her hand in honor. Jupiter tells Titus she will conduct a case on her if he doesn't take her back to the Earth and Titus orders Famulus to turn the ship toward Earth. Titus offers her dinner while Famulus imprisons Cain to avoid any kind of trouble. Titus tells her your genes match my mother and I know you well because I was very close to my mother. Jupiter says Kalik told me you would do anything in your power to prevent me from claiming my title. Titus tells her that Kalik lied to you because she competes with Balaam. Titus takes her to the lab where she shows her the Regnex serum which is refined from 100 humans. Titus tells her your planet is a farm like other planets set up by royal families to supply. Shocked Jupiter breaks one bottle but Titus tells her that my mother also wanted to stop this work and she was murdered. Titus uses her emotions and purposes for the marriage saying that his life is in danger from Kalik and Balaam. Famulus talks to Stinger and when Stinger tells her to release Cain, she says that Cain could be a threat to us so Lord Titus can't leave him. They bring Cain to Titus and Titus tells him they are going to marry and throw Cain into the space. Cain breaks the handcuffs and uses the oxygen suit to keep himself alive while the ship disappears from his sight. Back on Earth, Vladi's father scolds him on their egg plane and Vladi tells them she wants to buy a telescope. Balaam's monster soldiers arrive at their house and kidnap her family. Dying Cain is floating in space and dreams about Jupiter. He is saved by the group of Aegis, while Jupiter still doesn't agree to the marriage and Titus tells her it's just a contract marriage to save people. Jupiter wants to talk to Cain and Titus tells her Cain is given to the authorities so it's in her hands that she wants to save Cain or her people. Emotional Jupiter traps in his lies and agrees for the marriage. Stinger is imprisoned for cheating and Cain tells him I need your help to get to Titus' ship. Jupiter comes out as a bride and on the other hand Cain and Stinger also now leave for Titus' ship. The wedding ceremony begins while Cain and Stinger try to break through the safety barrier. Just before she wears the ring Cain breaks in and without killing Titus they leave his ship. They return to Earth and reaching her home they find Balaam had kidnapped Jupiter's family. Mr. Knight asks her to meet Balaam where she will abdicate her title and in return, Balaam will release her family. Jupiter agrees and they leave to visit Balaam. Upon arrival at the planet Jupiter, they take her inside the facility and close the portal before Aegis can pass it. At his refinery, Balaam demands Earth in exchange for Jupiter's family. Stinger urges Cain to bring her back and he leaves alone to save her. Cain's ship destroys crossing the Jupiter Red-Eye Tunnel but he lands inside the facility. Realizing that Balaam cannot harvest Earth without her permission, Jupiter refuses. Cain infiltrates the refinery and damages its gravity hull, causing the refinery to begin collapsing. While the occupants evacuate the refinery, Singh's ship moves in and rescues Jupiter's family. Jupiter survives the collapsing structures, only to land at the feet of Balaam, who tries to kill her. She fights him off before Balaam falls to his death. Cain saves her as the refinery is in its final stages of collapse. Singh opens a portal to Earth and prepares to evacuate, potentially leaving Cain and Jupiter behind. However, she is relieved that they have survived and crossed the portal, along with Singh's ship. Jupiter's family is returned home with no memory of their disappearance, while Jupiter secretly retains ownership of the Earth. Cain's rank in the Legion is restored, and he and Jupiter begin a relationship.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this.